I'm waving. Yes, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Grow Podcast. Thank you, thank you. Well, welcome back to another week of the Grow Podcast. I hope you guys are ready for another great week of growing, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Now, on to the business at hand. Yesterday, I watched my Auburn Tigers fall to Alabama once again. Now, I'm going to share something with you, which I feel like was the true turning point of the game. You already know I'm always going to be pulling for my Auburn Tigers, and I truly felt like they had a chance because there's nothing like the Iron Bowl. I don't care how bad an Auburn team may be, but when it comes down to the Iron Bowl, I mean, you just you just raise the standard and do what needs to be done in order to pull off a win. And I was watching the game, and I was impressed with the way my Auburn Tigers were playing up until a certain point. And that point was right before halftime. A couple of seconds was left on the clock. And I mean, 59 seconds, if that? It was probably less. And they were down on like the 2-yard line or something. And more so than them giving it to their star running back, hitting them in the face and just punching it in. No, they decided to try to just make Alabama jump off sides. Listen, that's not Auburn football. That's not Auburn tradition. You know what? And it's today's topic. You know what Auburn should have done? And listen, I've coached, I understand coaching, but a lot of times when it comes down to certain situations, I understand the rules of coaching and when you should punt and when you should, give your defense a chance. But no, there's also a time in certain situations, such as the Iron Bowl, when you just go for it. Yep, flat out go for it. And I hate to go back, but I'm just going to go ahead and just lay out some of those traditional sayings that I learned from Coach Dye. Now, when we're down to the 2-yard line, guess what we're going to find out? We're going to find out what your mamas and your daddies, as he would say, we're going to find out what your mamas and your daddies have put in you. We're going to go jawbone to jawbone, cheek to cheek, man on man, and really find out what you're made out of. But instead, this is when you know that things have changed. No, we're going to make them jump offside, and now we're going to kick a field goal. You know what? I'm using this as an example, but I need everyone to hear me. There comes a time in life when you just have to go for it. Have you ever heard that saying, go for it? Go for it it's a phrase that simply means, hey, seize the opportunity. Go ahead and be enthusiastic about breaking the rules in a sense of your comfort zone and just simply going for it. And I want to encourage you all who are watching today, listen, go for it. Yep, let that be a word of encouragement. Don't settle into how old you are. Don't settle being and staying in your comfort zone. And listen to this, don't allow fear to be a factor. I felt like once Auburn decided not to go for it, it changed the dynamics of the entire game because let me tell you what you did. You sent a message, first of all, to the other team that guess what? You was a tad bit afraid of them. But you also sent a message to your own team saying you don't have confidence that we can get 2 yards, 3 yards, whatever the case was. No, you were saying, no, we'll play it safe and not go for it. But you know what? I watched that game, and guess what it did? It ministered to me. It made me realize, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for it. Some things I've been thinking about doing, I'm going to go for it. And I want to encourage you with those same words. Some things that you've been thinking about stepping out and doing, doggone it, just go for it. Take a chance and go for it. So let this phrase go for it. Number one, serve as a phrase of encouragement. Number two, I wanted to do this. Let it be some motivation. Let it be the motivation. Let it be the motivating factor to make you say, you know what? I've been thinking about whether I should do this or do that. No, guess what? I'm going to go for it. That person who's been out there saying, you know what, I've been thinking about going to culinary school, but I'm getting up in age. I'm here to tell you, go for it. Go for it. It may be it's someone else who's watching the Grow Podcast today, and you just feel like you need to step out on faith and go and pursue another career or another job. I'm here to tell you, take the risk and go for it. Yeah, there's some uncertainty, but guess what? At least you'll know. I mean, going back to the game, I would have been so satisfied. I would have been okay totally if Auburn would have went for it and Alabama stopped them on the one. But guess what? Doggone it, they went for it. At least we just sent a message letting you know we're not afraid and we're going to be right here coming at you. But instead, let's take the easy way out. Let's just kick a field goal. Are you serious? It's the Iron Bowl. Here's what I'm saying when I'm comparing. I want to compare life right now to the Iron Bowl. It says in the book of James, you already know, I'm a faith man, so I'm always going to give you a nice spiritual vitamin. It says in James chapter 4, it talks about your life. What is your life? What is your life? And it goes on to say, your life is like a vapor. It's here for a minute and then it's gone. You know what? Some of you have been debating for a long time in your life on whether you're going to just go for it. Some of you have been playing it safe the majority of your life, and I'm here to encourage you, go for it. Don't worry about what people are going to say. Don't worry about how it's going to look to your family. Yes, I know you're breaking the family tradition, but guess what? Go for it. Stop playing it safe. Go for it. Do that thing that you've never, ever thought. I mean, you've been thinking about doing it, but you just never thought, no one would support you. Guess what? Support yourself. Just go for it yourself. Okay? Now, listen, I know you think it was going to be long, but guess what? We're in the holidays, so I'm not going to be keeping you long on the Grow Podcast, but I just want to encourage you with those words. Listen to me now. Go for it. Well, listen, that's all my time here on the Grow Podcast. I hope you guys are taking advantage of the holidays. And what I mean by that is not spending a lot of time out shopping and spending money. No, spend time with your family and with your friends. Listen, if you have any questions that you want to present to me here on the Grow Podcast, go ahead and email me at davidrocker.thegrow@gmail.com. And also, go ahead and tell your friends about the Grow Podcast. Download it, subscribe, and listen. Let's go, let's grow. And as always, let's keep it moving, people.